become absent.
Even more rules reveal themselves.
Yup, you down.
Ryback must have read it incorrectly because using a rivalry involving John Cena has John going up with the opponent going down.
In which skin gets ripped away from bone.
Seriously, WWE needs to stop overhyping steel cage matches as the type of match where skin gets ripped away from bone. If they never deliver, the hype is completely pointless. I'm just saying. We're kicking off Extreme Rules with basically the same match we witnessed at WrestleMania 29 earlier. Only difference is the winner. Oh yeah, and nothing extreme to it either. Previously on... Okay, I'm done saying that now. 500 plus episodes of this franchise, this sin has definitely run its course. Say bye-bye to the previously sin because even I admit it's gotten stale.
Time to teach this kid a lesson. Wants to teach this kid a lesson.
That's exactly what Michael Cole just said less than 10 seconds ago, JBL. But of course, JBL is an asshole, so duh. That fan with the "you're still not saying it correctly" sign forgot how to spell "your" like you are. Who's not saying something correctly now, huh?
I think Fandango may be the most underrated superstar.
Be careful who you show your praise to. They may end up losing every bit of their momentum going forward. Funny enough, Fandango loses to Chris Jericho tonight, and that's as far as he gets to being successful.
Fandango's head now.
Jerry Lawler is an asshole.
And Fandango needs a breather.
We've seen this happen so many times over the decades, it'd be an ultimate surprise if a heel wrestler didn't walk around the ring at least once these days.
Underlegs. Jericho! Whoa!
In my opinion, that was worse than a wrestler simply watching the entire time and not countering, as you could see Chris Jericho taking his time with every step and balance on the rope before turning around to jump on a watching Fandango. Looks like Fandango really is killing his own momentum.
Guy in his first match ever.
Well, it may have been the first match for the Fandango character, but the guy who plays him did compete in WWE as Johnny Curtis, and he seems to wrestle the same way as Fandango, so I didn't see much of a difference.
Here's the cover by Fandango.
Ha, your voice cracked!
In that ring. Will he not call?
Fandango's foot is underneath the bottom rope throughout this entire pinfall, and the referee ignores it.
Whoa.
Whatever the hell that was supposed to be.
Jericho was going to go for a roll-up, but he missed Fandango completely.
Man, even before I, the god of sins, made my presence felt upon the WWE with my YouTube channel, they were counting their own sins. Perhaps I was never needed. Nah, I always was.
I don't think Fandango realizes now he does.
Yep, Fandango realized where Chris was, and he decided to fall early before Chris could get a chance to connect his attack, too.
Oh, Jericho, don't...
Wait a minute, there's a Fruity Pebbles chant for someone that's not John Cena? Well, that's a first. Man, I hate Fruity Pebbles.
How do I beat Mark Henry in a match that specifically favors him?
The same way every other wrestler is defeated in a match that favors him. By sheer dumb luck. Seriously, I can't remember a single strap match in ages where the bigger and stronger opponent dragged his much weaker opponent and touched all four corners. It's always the smaller guys winning that one. Also, I had no idea the strap match specifically favored Mark Henry. Oh yeah, time for John Cena to defend the WWE Championship against Ryback in a last man standing match. Wait, what? It's not happening for another 2 hours? Then why are we hyping it up right now?
This contest set for one fall.
This is the event where hearing that phrase is, no pun intended, extremely awkward. Maybe that qualifies as an extreme match because it's extremely awkward. I finally figured it out, guys. It took me sitting literally all the Extreme Rules events, but I did it.
The guys, check this out. Look at that.
Even though they don't get involved, the commentators make it seem like Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns leaving Dean Ambrose alone means that there's no chance they'll potentially get involved in this match. Any sane person would keep an eye out just in case.
Kofi Kingston is undefeated at Extreme Rules.
Why would you say that? Guess what happens tonight as a result of Michael Cole bringing up Kofi Kingston's undefeated streak at Extreme Rules events?
What a clothesline!
At any point when a wrestler connects a clothesline, it's a guaranteed fact that JBL will suddenly get an erection.
This is a traditional match here tonight.
Michael Cole just sinned this match. Well done. Now don't do that again. That's my job.
WWE Hall of Famers.
Dean Ambrose must have been in one too many extreme stipulated matches over his career because he completely forgets that he's not the United States champion. At least not yet.
Ambrose.
Ambrose? Who the fuck is Ambrose, Michael?
It was interesting, though, that Ambrose...
Okay, something is definitely wrong with Michael Cole tonight. Alright, let me rephrase that. That's not a shocker. Michael's got some weird obsession with referring to Dean Ambrose as Ambrose and then Ambrew. If he's trying to come up with a cute nickname for Dean, it's failing miserably.
Ambrose.
Holy shit! 3 times now! Might as well add in 3 sins because Michael doesn't know how to say Ambrose properly at all. Ambrose! Whoa, where the hell did the rest of the Shield come from? Last I saw, they were at the top of the riser stands, and within seconds of Dean winning the United States title, they are in the ring.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Jerry Lawler is watching too much Star Wars. Kudos! Of course, green for the good guy, red for the bad guy. Or maybe it could be because of Sheamus' Irish heritage, I don't know.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Sheamus sucks at catching leather straps. Also, are we sure those are leather straps? Because I swear those look like the soft fabrics you place on your hand when you sprain your wrist.
Sheamus has never been beaten at Extreme Rules.
Oh, so you mean to tell me that Sheamus actually won that tables match against the former undefeated Kofi Kingston at the 2011 edition of Extreme Rules, Michael?
Here in about 15 minutes. Oh!
It's absolutely hilarious to see Mark Henry's attempt at looking stronger than Sheamus fail. Look like he slipped on a banana peel.
This match may be over before it even starts.
We're already 2 minutes into this match, so it has started. That phrase, over before it even starts, doesn't apply here.
Create separation from your opponent. That's impossible to do in this type of match.
Well, unless one of them takes the strap off of their hand. Sure, they probably forfeit the match as a result, but you get my point. Although that brings up another interesting question. Is it legal to remove the strap from your hand?
Great strategy by the Celtic Warrior. Yeah.
It was too easy for Sheamus to run across each side of the ring to touch 3 corners, even with Mark's resistance. But only now is it too difficult. Also, Sheamus could have easily ran across the apron while Mark looked to strike him down, which would then allow Sheamus to touch the final corner and win the match. Easy peasy.
You're right! You're right, Mark. Look at this!
The green light in that corner was on despite the fact that Sheamus never even touched it. Not to mention, the wrong red light turned on when Mark touched that same corner. Why is the southwest corner all of a sudden lit up for Mark?
Stretch start landing. Oh!
Sheamus is addicted to Mark's Henrys.
Sheamus at bay! And he died.
I'm sorry, but no. Since Mark caught Sheamus and was briefly on the offensive, the referee is supposed to wave off the lights and start over. Yet he allows the green lights to remain on, which leads to Sheamus' win. Mark Henry got screwed tonight, no denying. This entire scene with AJ Lee and Caitlyn is pointless to the Extreme Rules pay-per-view since none of them have any sort of relevance on the show. This couldn't wait until Raw tomorrow.
Wonder, do you think they have AJ and Caitlyn separated yet? We're gonna find out.
Actually, we will never find out.
Cut the music!
Zeb Coulter tells the audio technicians to cut Jack Swagger's music despite the fact that the music had already been cut off. Also, Zeb Coulter and his stupid political rants. Good God, this was horrid times.
America is going down the toilet!
What are you talking about? Donald Trump hasn't even run for president yet. That's just a little joke. Calm your asses down.
Their phones.
As boring and annoying as Zeb is, I always gotta send the what chants. They're not fun, they're not funny, they're not entertaining, and they're completely stupid. In other words, politics and the what chants go hand in hand.
Jack Swagger's America has begun.
For the 56th time, Jack Swagger's America has begun. It will be the 57th time next week, folks. Stay tuned.
Think of the Associated Press?
Wait a minute, this is a SmackDown's #1 contenders match? That doesn't make any sense. By this point in 2013, the brand split has been shut down for 2 years, and nobody is assigned to either Raw or SmackDown. How does this make any sense?
Those words, I quit. I wouldn't know, I never said I quit.
JBL somehow doesn't remember Judgment Day 8 years ago. Steel Stairs, do you want to quit?
Swagger, you want to quit? No.
Jack Swagger actually believed that Alberto Del Rio, the guy who beat him at WrestleMania a month ago, would quit from a simple suplex on the floor. What an idiot.
I am the only one at the announce table undefeated at Extreme Rules.
You beat Jim Ross. Not exactly an impressive victory at any sort of pay-per-view event. And thanks for reminding us of that god-awful waste-of-time match 2 years ago. Here's 5 cents. Now hold still, Alberto. Just want to make sure I'm aiming for the right boob here. No need to take advantage and counter me.
Your opponents say I quit. Watch out! Oh!
Man, Jack Swagger is such a freaking idiot. Turns his head away from Alberto Del Rio, tells the fans that the punishment he's about to inflict is on them, and then he gets kicked in the head as a result. What a dumbass. Alberto tells the referee to ask Jack if he quits, to which the referee debates about whether or not he should ask. You're supposed to ask Jack if he quits and place the microphone in his face.
Coulter!
Even though this doesn't give the official win to Jack Swagger, you gotta admit this is bullshit. The rules state that one of the wrestlers has to literally say the words I quit. Their manager thrown in the towel does not qualify as an I quit loss. That only works in submission matches, which this is not.
Look, calm down.
This referee is trying to explain the situation and is being told to calm down. And it's also amazing how we can somehow hear them over the sound of the crowd.
When do we start using replay?
WWE has always been using replays long before you even step foot in the business, JBL. Your excuses are stupid. Also, Zeb Coulter's constipated look.
I quit!
Match is restarted and the bad guy is defeated within seconds, cliche. You know, just for once, I'd like to see a match restart, it goes on for another 10 minutes, and the bad guy still wins in the end. When was the last time that happened?
Yeah, cover your ears.
You'd think by now that Daniel Bryan is used to Kane's pyrotechnics after a 240-plus day tag team title reign with him.
One of the longest reigns. What are you trying to do, jinx him?
Jerry Lawler would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion.
May 19th, not exactly Kane's favorite day.
Haha, screw you. Even though, you gotta admit, JBL has a point with this event taking place on May 19th, the day Team Hell No loses the titles.
17,529.
Fucks I haven't given about the number of fans in attendance. I highly doubt that'll change in the second half of this franchise. Rather than keep Roman Reigns grounded in the corner, Kane just awkwardly stands around and watches Seth Rollins trapped in Daniel Bryan's submission. Focus on Roman, Kane!
Been nearly unstoppable since.
The Shield has been nearly unstoppable since their debut? Michael, can you tell me exactly when the Shield lost prior to this night? Because I'll give you a quick answer, they didn't.
Notice how Rollins prevented Kane from knocking Rollins off the cover.
So, Seth Rollins prevented Kane from knocking Seth Rollins off the cover on Daniel? How the hell are there 2 Seth Rollins in this match?
That is just the power of Kane.
Forget that the tag team titles are on the line. Forget that I could chokeslam both these guys and be done with it. Let's throw them outside the ring instead. That'll help ensure on victory. It's interesting whenever a stable wins championship gold, but when you rush them all to win gold within an hour of each other, you're, well, rushing it. Build up to winning all the gold and dominating for a few months is how you do it. This is what happens when you got no patience.
It is an Extreme Rules match.
An Extreme Rules match that feels less like what it should be.
Not often you see a smile on the face of Randy Orton.
Not often we see a smile on Randy Orton. Pretty much any time he was a face, he would smile. And let's not forget the time he went hyper with excitement after hitting an RKO on Mark Henry 2 years ago.
The Viper strikes down the Giant.
Well, thanks for the spoiler alert, asshole.
Out here, but whoa.
Wow, that was one of the slowest attempts to hit a chop I've ever seen from the Big Show. He's usually faster than that. It's as if he wanted Randy to escape.
His daddy was in the first main event of the first WrestleMania.
As a manager for Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper, Bob Orton was in no way a competitor in the main event of the first WrestleMania. It only counts for the wrestlers who actually competed.
Randy Orton. Whoa, look out!
How? Just how? How the hell did Big Show fall for that? Randy with his hand clearly hanging onto a kendo stick in plain sight, and Show somehow doesn't see it coming. Whenever a ladder is pulled out in a match that doesn't require one for victory, it feels awkward. There's only so much you can do with the ladder in this type of match. Really? Big Show spent all that time setting up a ladder on 2 chairs, all just to give Randy a sidewalk slam on the ring canvas, away from the possibly devastating moment? Not so extreme if you ask me.
No, Randy.
And instead of slamming Randy on the ladder, Show decides to gently place him on there. Good lord, Big Show deserves 3 sins for not knowing how an Extreme Rules match is supposed to go. What an RKO onto the steel chair. It's just a shame that Randy suffered 100% of the damage, though.
Here it comes.
Crazy to think about, but this ain't going to be the first time Randy Orton punts the Big Show to win a pay-per-view match in 2013. This exact scene is repeated later at Survivor Series.
John Cena injured his Achilles tendon.
And yet he was able to easily run to the ring and leap into it without so much as wincing in pain. Totally injured his Achilles tendon. I have not said this in such a long-ass time. Ryback's non-pyro has returned to the Sins videos. What a return.
Cena's never lost at Extreme Rules.
Okay, seriously, what's the big deal about being undefeated or not at an event like Extreme Rules? It's not like he's undefeated at a major event like WrestleMania. Ryback thinks he's Hulk Hogan.
Later.
Oof.
Only rule that matters in this.
To this day, I still find it weird how this referee counts very slowly, then proceeds to point his entire hand to the fallen victim before considering the next count. I bet these slow counts are the reason last man standing matches tend to go on for 20 to 30 minutes.
But now Cena's.
Sorry, water bottle, but you were getting no action tonight. You're not extreme enough. Get back under the ring.
John Cena.
Probably should have backed up a step first so that John Cena could actually crash through the entirety of the table. Oh well, better luck next time, I suppose.
But here comes John Cena. Whoa.
Whatever the hell this is supposed to be.
You know how important. Oh my God! Oh my gosh! Look at that.
It's not exactly impressive to see Ryback tear off a piece of the hockey wall, considering those pieces come off easily if lifted properly.
9.
The referee counts an 8. Michael Cole somehow believes we're at a 9 count, though. Stop, you're embarrassing us.
And here comes the coup de grace.
JBL just went forward in time and saw the arrival of Finn Balor. Easily breakable wall is easily breakable. And yep, this is how the last man standing match ends. John Cena and Ryback go through one wall and the referee chooses to throw away the whole thing. Here are an additional 5 cents for bullshit. What, you couldn't simply leap onto the floor from the stage you were standing on? Oh no, these guys are hurt, and the quickest way is to my right, so I'm going to go all the way to the entrance ramp, run down the entrance ramp, and then run an extra distance to where I could have been in 2 seconds. By chanting bullshit, the crowd would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion.
This looked worse than some of the horrific falls that we saw Mick Foley.
I'm sorry, but I can't listen to that without laughing. Somehow this crash through the wall was more devastating than any of the horrific stunts caused by Mick Foley? That's worth another 5 cents, good lord.
What happened at the end of this matchup?
Good lord, we've been replaying this moment like 30 times already. Like, we get it. They crashed through a wall. Big deal. We've seen far more extreme moments than that.
This office it's more like my home.
This office feels more like my home. That's why I've been staying as far away from it as possible. Love my logic. The commentators are making such a big deal about this being a brand new cage than the ones we're used to seeing, but I'm seriously looking at the same cage that we've seen many times over the years. What's so different about this one?
NCAA heavyweight champion.
Holy shit, how many times are we going to hear the accomplishments of Brock Lesnar for like every single match he's about to compete in? None of that matters.
And that's a big blemish.
Pre-match assault. Also, just imagine how upset the fans in attendance were feeling knowing that Triple H would not be performing his signature entrance when his matches had become rare occasions. Man, I'm laughing at that.
We started to
Fucking finally! About time someone punched out that fucker.
pedigree. Lesnar away early.
Whenever Hunter tries to execute the pedigree that close to the cage wall, you just know he's about to get thrown into it. Happened countless times to the point where we can immediately guess.
Champion. His third fight, he beat Randy Couture.
Oh my god, shut the hell up already!
Flesh.
Yikes, that's gotta hurt. Maybe next time Brock Lesnar won't decide to throw himself into the cage by his own will. Oh my, Brock has got to be in a lot of pain from— wait a minute, what's with all the mustard he plastered into his armpits?
Even on the bubble end.
I'm sorry, but when Brock has the high-pitched voice of a little girl, hearing him scream in pain is just too funny. He does not sound like how he looks, does he?
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go!
The many times Paul Heyman is saying, let's go. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Just take another run around the stage area and you'll be alright. Nothing to worry about.
Says shake it off. And go for the F5 again, and again it's time to...
You see, this is how you freaking sell injuries. This is how you do shit properly. This is what a lot of wrestlers today completely lack. Brock is getting 3 sins removed for his amazing selling of his leg injury, even when he has the match won.
Heyman screaming.
Paul Heyman gives Brock all the alerts available about Hunter hanging onto the chair, and somehow Brock still gets hit. A leg injury doesn't affect your hearing, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, kinky. Both Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman somehow don't know how the rules of a steel cage match work. Even despite the hilarious high-pitched voice, I gotta give more props to Brock for selling his injury. Those sounded like genuine screams of pain. Wrestlers of today could learn a lesson or two from Brock Lesnar, honestly. What is that supposed to be, a steel sledgehammer? Looks more like a paint job, if you ask me.
Get him!
Even Paul Heyman sells the pedigree better than most wrestlers do, and he's not even a wrestler either. That's gotta suck.
Whoa!
Paul Heyman is addicted to Hunter's Hearst Helmsley's.